Listen, listen to me. I'm going to tell you about something so simple, so cheap, so absolutely available to every single one of you sitting here today, that when you hear it, you're going to slap your forehead and say, Jack, why didn't I know this 40 years ago? You want to recover faster from your workouts? You want your muscles to stop aching the day after you train? You want your gut working like a finely tuned engine? I've got your answer. And it grows on a tree. It's bright orange. It's sweet. And most of you walk past it at the grocery store every single week without giving it a second glance. I'm talking about papaya. Papaya, nature's recovery miracle, and almost nobody is using it. Now you might be sitting there thinking, Jack, I come here to hear about push-ups and squats and iron discipline. What are you doing talking to me about fruit? Let me tell you something. I've been doing this for over 60 years. 60 years of waking up before the sun, putting my body through its paces, building strength, building endurance, building a life worth living. And in all those decades, one thing never changed. What you put into your body after you train determines everything. Everything. Your workout is the spark. Your food is the fuel. And if you're giving your engine cheap, wrong fuel after you train, you are throwing away every single minute of effort you just put in. When I was 15 years old, I was a disaster. I want you to picture this. Skinny, weak, acne all over my face, sugar addicted, falling apart from the inside out. My mother dragged me to a lecture by a man named Paul Bragg, and that man changed the entire course of my life. He looked out at that audience and he said something I never forgot. He said, "It is not enough to exercise. You must feed your body what it needs to rebuild." That went into me like a lightning bolt. I was 15 years old, and I finally understood. The gym is only half the equation. What you eat after you train is the other half. And if you ignore that half, you are working at 50% capacity for the rest of your life. I am not going to let that happen to you. Not today. So let me tell you what happens inside that incredible body of yours the moment you finish a workout. You think you're done when you put down the weights or step off the treadmill? You are not done. Your body is just getting started. Your muscles have tiny little tears in them. That's not bad. That's actually exactly what you want, because those tears are what your body repairs and rebuilds into something stronger. But here's the catch. For your body to do that repair work properly, you need certain things. You need protein to rebuild the tissue. You need carbohydrates to replenish your energy stores. You need anti-inflammatory compounds to calm the swelling. And here is the one most people miss completely. You need digestive power, because it does not matter one single bit what beautiful, nutritious food you eat if your gut cannot break it down and deliver those nutrients where they need to go. This is where papaya comes in. And this is where most fitness advice leaves a huge, gaping hole. You see, papaya contains something called papain. Say it with me, papain. This is a naturally occurring enzyme, a proteolytic enzyme, which means it specializes in breaking down protein. Now, why does that matter to you after a workout? Because you just tore up your muscle fibers. Your body is screaming for amino acids, the building blocks that come from protein digestion. And if your digestive system is overwhelmed or sluggish, which it often is right after intense exercise because your body redirected blood flow away from your gut and toward your working muscles, then those amino acids are not getting delivered on time. The repair crew shows up, but the materials are stuck in traffic. Papain clears that traffic. It is a natural digestive accelerator, and it works specifically on the proteins your muscles desperately need. Now, here is something fascinating. I am going to tell you this because I want you to truly understand what your body is capable of when you give it the right tools. When you exercise hard, your body produces inflammation. Some inflammation is good, some is necessary. But too much inflammation, sustained inflammation, is the enemy of recovery. It's the reason you feel stiff the next morning. It's the reason some people can barely walk downstairs 2 days after leg day. Papaya contains compounds called flavonoids and isothiocyanates, plus a generous supply of vitamin C and beta-carotene, all of which are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. Your body is fighting a small internal battle after every training session, and papaya hands your immune system a whole arsenal of weapons. And you know what else? I've been juicing and eating raw fruits and vegetables for decades. My body at 70 years old can do things that men half my age cannot do. I pull myself over a bar using just my hands. I swim against a tide while handcuffed. I pull boats with my teeth. When reporters ask me what my secret is, they expect me to say some complicated supplement or some expensive program. I tell them the same thing every time. I eat real food. I eat food that my grandmother would recognize. I eat food that comes from the earth. and papaya is the most underrated, underused, underappreciated piece of that puzzle. Let me paint you a picture. Two people work out together, same gym, same program, same weights, same duration. The first person finishes their workout and rushes home to eat whatever is convenient. Maybe it is fine, maybe it is not. Their gut is working hard to process it, but the enzymes are not quite up to the task today because they have been eating processed foods all week and their digestive system is sluggish. The nutrients trickle through slowly. The inflammation stays elevated longer. The repair work is delayed. They wake up the next morning feeling beaten up, stiff, tired. They skip the next workout because they do not feel ready. The second person, your person, my person, finishes their workout and within 30 to 45 minutes eats a generous bowl of fresh papaya. The papain gets to work immediately. Protein digestion accelerates. The anti-inflammatory compounds go to work on the swollen muscle fibers. The natural sugars replenish glycogen stores without the crash of refined sugar. The vitamin C, which papaya has in extraordinary abundance, supports collagen synthesis, and collagen is the very connective tissue that holds your joints and tendons together. That person wakes up the next morning feeling recovered, feeling ready, feeling like training again. Which person do you want to be? Now let me destroy some excuses right now because I know how your brain works. I know because I've talked to thousands of people over 60 years of doing this. And the excuses are always the same. Jack, papaya is expensive. Is it? Go look at what you are spending on supplements. Go look at that jar of protein powder with 17 ingredients you cannot pronounce. Go look at the pre-workout and the post-workout and the recovery shake and the gut health capsules. A fresh papaya at your market costs you maybe $2 or $3, and it gives you natural enzymes, natural vitamin C, natural beta-carotene, natural fiber, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds, all in one beautiful orange package that your body has been designed over millions of years of human evolution to absorb and use. You are paying more for the synthetic copy than you would for the real thing. That is like paying for a photograph of a steak when you could buy the steak. Jack, I do not like the taste. You know what I say to that? Your taste buds were trained to like junk. When you spend years eating sugar and salt and artificial flavors, your taste buds get lazy and distorted. They stop recognizing real food as delicious. But here is the beautiful thing about the human body. It adapts. You give it real food consistently, and within a few weeks, your taste buds recalibrate. Suddenly that papaya tastes like the sweetest, most satisfying thing you have ever put in your mouth. I guarantee it. Give it 30 days. 30 days of treating your taste buds with the respect they deserve, and they will come around. I promise you that. Jack, I do not know how to prepare it. Cut it in half. Scoop out the seeds. Eat it with a spoon. Done. That is it. This is not complicated cuisine. Nature already packaged it for you. The skin is the container. The flesh is the medicine. You do not need a recipe. You do not need a blender. You do not need a nutritionist. You need a knife and a spoon and the decision to start. Jack, I am too old to see benefits from changing my diet. Baloney. Absolute baloney. Let me tell you something about the human body. It responds to what you give it at any age. I have seen men and women in their 70s and 80s make dramatic improvements in how they feel, how they move, how quickly they recover from physical activity, just by cleaning up what they eat and adding the right natural foods. Your cells do not know how old your driver's license says you are. They know what environment you create for them. You give them the right nutrients, and they will do their job, every single time. Here is something I want you to understand about digestion that most fitness programs completely ignore. When your digestion is poor, nothing else works properly. You can eat the healthiest diet in the world, but if your gut cannot process it, those nutrients pass through you and you lose them. Poor digestion leads to bloating, to gas, to discomfort after meals, to that heavy feeling where you just want to lie down after eating instead of feeling energized. And when you feel heavy and uncomfortable, guess what happens to your motivation to train the next day? It disappears. Your gut health and your workout consistency are connected in a direct, powerful way. Fix your digestion and you fix your fitness. Papain, the enzyme in papaya, has been studied extensively, and what researchers have found is remarkable. It does not just help digest protein. It helps reduce the kind of inflammation that accumulates in the gut itself from hard training. Because here is something most people do not realize. Intense exercise is actually somewhat stressful to the digestive system. Your intestinal lining can become temporarily more permeable under extreme physical stress. Papain and the other compounds in papaya help soothe and support that lining, keeping your gut resilient and functional even when you are pushing your body to its limits. And let me remind you that we are not just talking about elite athletes here. I have been saying for 60 years that this message is for everyone. Every single body on this planet benefits from better nutrition and better recovery. The 40-year-old accountant who runs 3 miles on the weekend, the 65-year-old grandmother who takes a yoga class twice a week, the young man who just started lifting weights for the first time, the senior citizen who walks 30 minutes every morning because her doctor told her to start moving. All of you are exercising. All of you are asking something of your bodies. And all of your bodies deserve the fuel to recover and grow stronger from what you asked of them. Now, let me tell you about 3 people I have personally known whose lives were transformed by something as simple as changing what they ate after they trained. There was a gentleman, a retired school teacher, who started coming to one of my health clubs in his late 50s. He was overweight, his joints ached, and he could barely get through a 30-minute workout without feeling destroyed for the next 2 days. That recovery time was killing his motivation. He would work out Monday, spend Tuesday and Wednesday barely able to move, and then skip Thursday and Friday because why bother if it is just going to hurt again? I sat down with him one afternoon, and I asked him what he was eating after his workouts. He looked at me blankly. He was eating nothing, sometimes a bag of chips on the drive home. I told him to change one thing, just one thing. Every single time he finished a workout, he was to eat a bowl of fresh papaya within 40 minutes. Nothing else had to change, just that one addition. Within 3 weeks, he told me his recovery time had been cut in half. Within 6 weeks, he was working out 4 times a week and asking me what he should add to his program because he finally felt strong enough to do more. I knew a woman who was a marathon runner in her late 40s. She was fit, dedicated, serious about her training. But she was plagued by gut issues during races and in the days following long training runs. Bloating, cramping, discomfort that was derailing her performance and making her miserable. She had tried every supplement on the market. She had seen specialists. Nothing was giving her lasting relief. I suggested she add papaya to her post-run routine and reduce the processed foods she was using for workout fuel. She was skeptical, but she was desperate enough to try. Within a month, the bloating was dramatically reduced. Her gut had calmed down. Her recovery was faster. She ran her next marathon and set a personal record. And then there was a young man, 19 years old, working 2 jobs to put himself through school, coming to train whenever he could find an hour. He was eating badly because he was eating cheaply and quickly. He was frustrated because he was training hard and not seeing the results he wanted. His muscles were not growing. His energy was inconsistent. I told him the same thing I am telling you today. Exercise is king, nutrition is queen. You cannot have a kingdom without both. I put him on real food, vegetables, fruits, lean protein, and yes, papaya after every single workout. 6 months later, that young man was transformed. Not because he trained harder, because he finally started recovering properly from the training he was already doing. Now let me talk about how to make this work in your actual life. Because I do not believe in advice that sounds good in a room but falls apart on Monday morning when real life takes over. I believe in practical, I believe in simple, I believe in sustainable. Here is what you are going to do. The next time you go to the grocery store, you are going to walk to the produce section. You are going to pick up 2 ripe papayas. You will know they are ripe when the skin has turned mostly yellow and orange, and the flesh gives slightly when you press it gently, like a ripe peach. You are going to bring them home. You are going to put them on your counter or in your refrigerator. And after your next workout, before you shower, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, you are going to cut one in half and eat it. That is the whole plan. That is where it starts. Just that. Now, for those of you who are further along in your nutrition journey and want to build on this, here is how I incorporate papaya into a complete post-workout meal. After my 90-minute morning training session, I eat papaya as the first thing, while my body is still warm and my digestion is waking up from the workout. I follow it 30 minutes later with a meal that includes a significant amount of protein from real food sources, a generous serving of vegetables, and some complex carbohydrate. Papaya works like a primer for your digestive system. It gets everything moving and ready to receive that protein and those nutrients with maximum efficiency. You can also cut papaya into cubes and blend it into a smoothie if you prefer a liquid meal after training. Combine it with some leafy greens, a banana for potassium, which your muscles desperately need after they have been contracting hard, and if you eat animal products, some plain yogurt for its protein and probiotics. Now you have a recovery drink that no synthetic supplement can match. Real enzymes, real vitamins, real minerals, real fiber. A living food for a living body. For those of you who are beginners and have not established a regular training routine yet, I want to speak to you directly right now. This is your entry point. You do not need to overhaul your entire diet tomorrow. You do not need to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. I have been saying that for 60 years. Start with one thing. Add papaya after your workouts. That single change will start improving how you feel after physical activity. When you feel better after you train, you want to train more. When you train more consistently, you get stronger and fitter. When you get stronger and fitter, you start naturally caring more about everything else you eat and do. One good habit is the seed that grows the whole garden. For seniors, specifically, and I say this with all the love and respect in the world because I am a senior and I know exactly what your body is facing. Recovery takes longer as we age. That is just a biological fact. The inflammatory response after exercise tends to be stronger and more prolonged. Digestive enzyme production naturally decreases as we get older. This means that everything I have told you about papaya is doubly important for you. The very mechanisms that make papaya valuable for a 25-year-old become even more valuable at 60, 70, and beyond. Your body needs more help with digestion and more help with inflammation management. And nature has put exactly the right compounds into papaya to address both of those needs. I also want to tell you about the vitamin content of papaya because I do not want you to think of this purely as a digestive aid and miss the full picture. One medium papaya gives you more than twice your daily requirement of vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is not just for preventing colds. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production, and collagen is the structural protein of your tendons, ligaments, joint cartilage, and skin. Every time you train, you are asking your connective tissue to handle load and stress. Keeping that tissue healthy requires a steady supply of vitamin C. Your papaya delivers it in a form your body recognizes and absorbs beautifully. Papaya is also rich in folate, potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins. Potassium and magnesium are electrolytes that your muscles lose during exercise through sweat, and that muscle cramps and fatigue during and after training are often directly linked to low levels of these minerals. Your papaya helps replace what your workout took from you. This is real, functional nutrition. This is your body being given exactly what it used up. Now I want you to think about two futures. I want you to really see them in your mind. The first future belongs to the person who keeps doing what they have always done, trains when motivated, eats whatever is convenient after, wonders why results are slow, wonders why they are still tired and sore, loses motivation, stops training, gains weight, loses strength, watches their mobility decline year by year. This is the slow surrender. It does not happen all at once. It sneaks up on you a choice at a time. The second future belongs to you. The person who decides today that every choice after a workout is a vote for the body you want to live in. You finish your training session and you immediately do the right thing for your recovery. You eat real food, starting with nature's enzyme factory. You reduce inflammation before it can accumulate. You rebuild your muscles faster. You show up to train again sooner because you recovered properly. You get stronger. You move better. You feel alive. You are in your 60s going on 40. You are in your 70s and people think you are 50 because you look after your machine, because you respect the incredible gift you were given when you were born into a human body. I want that second future for every person in this room. I want it so badly. I have dedicated my entire life to spreading this message. This is not a hobby for me. This is a mission. Because I have seen what happens when people take their health seriously, and I have seen what happens when they do not. And I cannot stand by and watch people waste the most precious thing they own. You know what the most common thing is that people say to me after they finally commit? They say, "Jack, I wish I had done this sooner." Every single time. I wish I had done this sooner. Do not be the person who says that at 75. Be the person who says at 75, I started at 45 and I have not looked back. Or at 60, or at 70. It is never too late to start doing the right thing for your body. Here is your 30-day challenge, and I want you to take this seriously. For the next 30 days, every single time you finish a workout, any workout, walking, swimming, lifting, yoga, cycling, any physical activity that gets your heart rate up, you are going to eat fresh papaya within 45 minutes of finishing. You are going to keep a simple note on your phone, 2 columns, date, how you felt the next morning. That is it. I want you to track your recovery for 30 days, and I want you to see for yourself what this does for your body. I guarantee you that within 2 weeks you will notice a difference. Within 30 days you will be a believer. And once you are a believer, you will not need me to convince you anymore because your body will be doing the convincing every single morning when you wake up and realize you are not as sore as you used to be. You are not as stiff. You are not as tired. You are ready to go again. And once you have the papaya habit locked in, then we can talk about the rest. Then we can talk about the 10 vegetables every day and the juicing and the whole food philosophy that has kept me doing handstands and swimming in the ocean and pulling boats across harbors well into my later years. But we start with one thing. We build from there. Step by step, habit by habit, day by day. You know what my mentor Paul Bragg taught me when I was that broken 15-year-old kid who had never eaten a vegetable in his life? He said, "Jack, your body is not your enemy. It is your partner. Treat it with respect and it will perform miracles for you." I have spent over 60 years proving that man right. Every morning when I wake up at 4 o'clock and feel strong and clear and ready, I think of Paul Bragg and I am grateful. Now I am passing that message on to you. Your body wants to recover. Your body wants to get stronger. Your body wants to reward your hard work with real results. Give it what it needs to do that job. Give it the enzymes to digest. Give it the anti-inflammatory compounds to calm the damage. Give it the vitamins and minerals to rebuild. Give it the papaya. This is not complicated. This is not expensive. This is not some secret only available to professional athletes or people with lots of money and lots of time. This is a piece of fruit. It grows on trees. It has been nourishing human bodies for thousands of years. Your ancestors knew what it was for, and now you know too. So here is what I need you to do the moment you walk out of this room. Write down one word on whatever you have to write with. One word. Papaya. Put it in your pocket. Take it to the grocery store today or tomorrow. Buy 2 of them. And after your next workout, you eat one. You make a promise to yourself right now that you are going to do that. A promise to the most important person in your life. You. Exercise is king. Nutrition is queen. And right now, the queen is wearing orange. Your body has been waiting for this. Your life has been waiting for this. The workout is the beginning. The recovery is where the transformation actually happens. And now you know exactly how to make it happen. Get up, move, eat right, live. That is the Jack Lalanne way. That has always been the Jack Lalanne way. And it will still be the Jack Lalanne way long after I am gone, because the truth does not have an expiration date. Now get out there and buy yourself a papaya. I'll see you at 4 in the morning.